Within moments of boarding the brand new Norwegian Aqua, I was sipping a martini in a bright, modern lounge that felt more like a boutique hotel than a cruise ship. And not long after, I was playing basketball under black lights in the glow court, surrounded by neon, music, and non-stop energy. This ship doesn't ease you in gently. It throws you between upscale elegance and full throttle fun like it's all part of the same plan. And honestly, it kind of is. After 2 days exploring both sides of this ship, the only question is, does it actually work? Hey y'all, I'm Evan with Family at Sea, where we help make every cruise unforgettable. In today's video, I'm sharing my first impressions of the brand new Norwegian Aqua after spending 2 days on board during an inaugural press sailing. So in this video, I'm going to cover what stood out about the design, layout, and onboard energy, a look at the ship's most fun and innovative spaces, and the early strengths I saw, and a few things I'm still not so sure about. So stick around as we take a first look at whether the Norwegian Aqua's bold new approach actually works. If you're ready, I am. Let's go. So a quick reality check here before we get too far in. This was a press sailing, which is basically like a sneak preview for travel agents, media, and people like me who make cruise videos on the internet instead of having a normal hobby. The goal is to give us an early look at the ship so we can explore the spaces, test a few things out, and help you get a feel for what it offers. But it's not a full-blown cruise. There weren't 4,000 people fighting for pool chairs, the kids clubs weren't running, and you were assigned restaurants so they could manage flow instead of having the most popular spots be too crowded. Basically, it's a carefully controlled environment designed to show the ship at its best.
How convenient for you.
So in this video, I'll be covering what I could actually experience, like how the ship flows, the vibe in key areas like the glow court and the observation lounge, a few of the restaurants, and the design choices that really stood out. But I can't speak yet to the full cruise experience. Things like service at scale, how it feels when the ship is packed, or how well the main dining rooms hold up when they're running at full speed. And that's where part 2 comes in, because we'll be back on board next month with the full family for a full 7-night cruise. And that's when we'll test everything. So if you're interested in the Aqua, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our full review.
I'll be back.
Before I continue, if you're thinking about booking a cruise, whether it's on the Norwegian Aqua or really any other ship, my friends at Cruises It can help you get the best possible deal. They have access to exclusive rates, industry best perks, and discounts you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their cruise fare watch system tracks price drops until final payment, so you never overpay. To book your dream cruise at the guaranteed best price, click the link in the description below to get started. The Norwegian Aqua marks a turning point. Built on the same basic foundation as the Prima class ships, specifically the Prima and the Viva, it takes what worked, fixes what didn't, and delivers something that finally feels complete. The first 2 ships looked great, but reviews consistently pointed to crowding, limited pool space, and beautifully designed venues that just didn't function well. Stylish? Yes, but far from seamless. With the Aqua, Norwegian took that feedback and made real changes. So Evan, you're telling me they actually listened and fixed stuff? Whoa. Bold move, Norwegian. Yes, that is exactly what I'm telling you. This ship is roughly 10% larger than its predecessors, and that extra space was used strategically. The main pool deck is wider, with more loungers and breathing room. The Vibe Beach Club was expanded, and the Ocean Boulevard, which is their outdoor promenade, got a redesign with more seating and a better flow. And the Improv Comedy Club was expanded to provide more seating as well, which is something that was desperately needed. Dining venues were reworked too. Cagney's and Le Bistro were relocated for better capacity. Hasuki now features the largest teppanyaki setup at sea, and 2 new options joined the lineup. Sukhothai, which is a Thai specialty restaurant, and Plannery, which is a plant-based concept inside the Indulge food hall. One of the most interesting new spaces is Swirl Wine Bar, quietly tucked behind the whiskey bar. It's upscale, intimate and adds a touch of resort-style class to the area. And instead of bringing back the go-karts, which were flashy but took up a lot of space for not many people, Norwegian introduced the new Aqua Slidecoaster and the Glow Court. These new additions still deliver excitement, but in a way that's more efficient, more versatile, while also being easier to integrate into the overall energy of the ship. The Aqua isn't just a bigger ship, it's a smarter one. One of the first things that stood out to me about the Norwegian Aqua was just how intentional the design feels. It's not just nice to look at, it actually works. From the moment you board, the layout flows in a way that feels natural. The spaces are bright, modern, and refined without being cold or pretentious. Decks 6 through 8 in particular are some of the most beautifully designed public spaces I've seen on any mainstream cruise ship. And honestly, they give Celebrity's Edge-class ships a serious run for their money. The style is sleek but not sterile. The color palette leans light and fresh, and the furniture and lighting choices make it feel like a boutique resort rather than a mass market cruise ship. What impressed me most was how Norwegian pulled off that upscale vibe without making it feel too formal. These are spaces you want to hang out in. Whether you're grabbing a drink, heading to dinner, or just walking the ship, there's a sense of cohesion that keeps everything connected. Navigation was smooth too, with the exception of the stairwells and the Penrose atrium that can only be accessed from one side. I never found myself lost or having to backtrack, and for a brand new ship, that's saying something. The layout for the most part just makes sense. Everything is where you expect it to be, and even by the end of day one, I felt like I had a handle on it. I will say one area that was a bit confusing is up on deck 17. To get from the pool deck back to like the Vibe Beach Club or up to the fun areas of the ship, you have to pass through the buffet. There's no way to go around it. So that was a little bit confusing, but for the most part, the layout of the ship just works.
That's why I love it so much.
While the lower decks exude boutique elegance, the upper decks of the Norwegian Aqua go full throttle in a totally different direction. And it works. The Glow Court is unlike anything I've seen at sea, with a fully interactive LED floor, black lights, and pumping music. It feels more like stepping into a video game than playing a sport. I spent time here playing basketball and soccer, but the space is constantly evolving with different challenges and games that keep the energy high day and night. I haven't played a real sport since my knees gave out, but now I'm over here thinking I've still got it. I think you do, friend. The stadium, Tea Time, and pickleball court pack in even more energy. Tea Time, their miniature golf course, got a major glow up, literally, with its new illuminated Wonders of the World theme. The pickleball court is now a real venue instead of just a spare patch of deck, and the stadium's mix of games gives families and groups something to do without planning ahead. It's not groundbreaking, but it's well done and it works. Then there's the new Aqua Slidecoaster, which is their launch-style water slide that actually delivers. I rode it in 40-degree weather while docked in Manhattan, and even in the freezing cold, it was a blast. High-speed launches, tight turns, ocean views. It's the kind of ride people will line up for, and honestly, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. These aren't just cool features, they're statement pieces. The Norwegian Aqua isn't playing catch-up with the competition, it's finally stepping into its own lane. And it's doing it well. Not every space on the Norwegian Aqua is built for adrenaline though, and honestly, that's what makes the ship feel so well-rounded. The observation lounge has always been one of my go-to spots on any ship that has one, and Aqua didn't disappoint. Although the space isn't as expansive or immersive as what you'll find on the Breakaway class ships, it still delivers thanks to its floor-to-ceiling windows, comfortable seating, and a layout that actually invites you to slow down and stay a while. It's the kind of place that makes you want to read a book or pretend you're the main character in one. Okay, Evan, if I ever go missing on this ship, that's where you'll find me. Me too. The Beach Club saw a major upgrade on the Aqua, with the space expanded by roughly 40% compared to the earlier Prima class ships. There are more loungers, more shaded seating, and private cabanas, and they even added infinity hot tubs. It's adults only, but it doesn't feel exclusive in a you don't belong here kind of way. It's laid back, beautiful, and exactly the kind of place you'll want to escape to when the top decks are buzzing. And then there's the Haven, which I saved for last because only a small percentage of guests will ever get to experience it, but if you do, you're really in for something special. It's bold, private, and beautifully designed with its own restaurant, lounge, and sun deck that feel completely removed from the rest of the ship. That said, unlike the breakaway class ships, it doesn't include a private solarium style pool or the signature Haven courtyard surrounded by staterooms. While the layout is different, the experience is no less elevated. This isn't just about upgraded rooms, it's Norwegian delivering a completely different tier of cruising. Each of these spaces brings something different to the table, but all of them deliver on the promise of elevated cruising. If you're looking for that perfect balance of energy and escape, this is where the Aqua really starts to shine. Dining on the Norwegian Aqua was one of the highlights for me. While I didn't get to try everything, what I did try gave me a solid first impression. Hasuki, the teppanyaki restaurant, delivered a really fun experience. The chef had great energy, kept the table engaged the entire time, and the scallops were honestly some of the best I've had at sea. The steak and shrimp were fine but not memorable, but what really stood out was the size of the venue. It's one of the largest teppanyaki setups at sea, which should make it a lot easier to get a reservation here than it usually is on other ships. Onda by Scarpetta was another standout. This is Aqua's upscale Italian restaurant, and it nails the balance between modern and refined. The space is beautifully designed, the menus well thought out, and the entire experience just feels like a proper night out without being over the top. But what surprised me the most was how much I liked Indulge Food Hall. The variety here is fantastic, and it's perfect for families or anyone who just wants options. I didn't get to try everything, but the food I did have was solid, and I know Mackenzie's gonna love the Plannery with its dedicated plant-based menu. It's a smart addition that more ships should honestly consider. There are two main dining rooms on board, and while I didn't eat at either, Hudson's at the aft of Deck 7 definitely stands out with its incredible aft-facing views that wrap almost 270 degrees. It's definitely the showpiece of the two, and I'd expect it to be in higher demand once the ship is full. There's a lot to like about the Aqua's dining lineup, from casual and convenient to elevated and elegant. Norwegian clearly put thought into these spaces, and for the most part, it shows.
Just give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
After 2 days on board, I walked away feeling like the Norwegian Aqua is a win for Norwegian. It's not just a new ship, it's a clear response to the feedback they got from the Prima and the Viva. And in a lot of ways, it feels like they listen. The layout feels more intuitive, the design choices make more sense, and the activity areas, while still visually bold, don't feel like they're trying too hard to chase thrills. It finally feels like Norwegian found a more balanced rhythm between fun and sophistication. But the real test? That's still coming. The biggest question for now, though, is how crowded will the ship feel once it's sailing at full capacity? Norwegian has a history of packing a lot of people into their ships, especially on the Prima class, and the Aqua's footprint isn't dramatically different, being only 10% larger. So is it going to feel more spacious, or will the common areas start to feel tight? I'm also going to be watching how long the lines get for the shows in the main theater, how smoothly Indulge and the buffet handle meal rushes, and whether the main dining rooms, particularly Hudson's, can keep up with demand without long waits. The Splash Academy Kids Club is definitely on the small side for a ship this size, so I'm going to be watching to see how well it handles the volume of kids on a full sailing, especially during sea days. This press sailing gave me a great first look, but the real test is what happens when the ship is full, everything's running, and real families are on board. If you're considering a cruise on the Norwegian Aqua, be sure to subscribe because our full review will be coming right after our sailing next month, and it's going to answer all the questions that this one couldn't. So the bad news, I still don't know if the Norwegian Aqua has fully fixed what held the Prima and the Viva back. It looks better, it feels more balanced, but until it's sailing full with every venue running and thousands of paying guests on board, we just don't know how well it will hold up under pressure. The good news, you can come explore the Aqua with me. In this next video, I take you around the ship and share my unfiltered thoughts as I experience it for the first time. No script, no polish, just real impressions as I check everything out, from the showstoppers to the small details. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, may your seas be smooth and your horizons wide. Bon voyage!